One of the key secrets to moving into leadership positions and just developing a leader mindset is developing new habits. And I talk about new habits all the time, but let's get a little bit more specific. It helps to understand how habits are formed and what habits we're talking about. Habits are formed with 3 steps. The first step is a cue, some trigger that initiates you trying this new thing that's going to become a habit. Then there's the actual routine or the behavior. So the trigger is like pulling a trigger on a gun. That sets off the behavior. Then you give yourself a reward. So some reward comes as a result of doing this new behavior. It could be something simple or it could be something grand. But what are the habits that we're talking about? When we're talking about moving into leadership, the way I think about it, start with what's in your mind. So what you think about yourself and others, and the way you attack life around you, projects you approach, people you interact with, how we think about that. There's new habits in how we think. Then there's new habits in how we engage others, engaging others one-on-one and one-to-group. So we have to develop new habits at the tactical level and the overall approach level when we're dealing with people. And then, of course, there are leader habits. So how we think and act as leaders in our current context. If you're not in a leadership position or you're not in the one you're shooting for, then maybe how that leader acts and thinks is how you're training your mind. A lot of the research indicates it takes about 66 days to develop a new habit, but it could range from anywhere as short as 18 days to even longer. And it helps if you tie the new habit to an already existing routine. Right after I do this, which I'm normally used to doing, I will do this new habit. And you tie those together until it becomes part of your routine. So you're activating different parts of your brain to develop a new habit. Your brain has a lot of neuroplasticity. It can be morphed. By changing the way you think and act, you're actually rewiring your brain, helping the neurons fire in a different place of your brain. Let's face it, every time you get a reward or anticipate a reward, you get a dopamine hit. So by putting a reward at the end of practicing a new routine, developing a new habit, you will easily reinforce it and keep it going. That's part of what I do when I coach my clients, is that we work on developing new skills and new habits for each individual, and they practice them over time as we also learn new ideas around what it means to be a great leader. If you want to talk to me about my coaching program, use the link in my profile and get on my calendar. So let me know in the comments any new habits you're trying to develop that will help you become a better performing business person and or leader.